Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the last Jedi Talk before Star Wars Celebration starts. Before we get the show started, I would like to invite everyone who is listening to the show to come check out my panel at Star Wars Celebration on May 26th from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the fan stage at Star Wars Celebration. It is going to be a panel all about Batuu called The Beauty of Batuu, the Hidden Secrets and Details of Galaxy's Edge and the Halcyon.
Nailed it.
There won't be a lot about the Halcyon because we haven't unpacked everything yet. We've had time to unpack Batuu, but there will be mentions and stuff. But it's going to be heavy on Batuu. Also, please make sure you follow us on Instagram at Jedi Talk Podcast and check out our subreddit. I think it's Reddit. I think the subreddit is just Jedi Talk Podcast. And check out youtube.com/TheBradVentures. That is where you can find all of the podcasts on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And yeah. But before we get into the rest of the show here, I got to introduce the full council. To my right, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Evan T. Boucher. Evan, what's going on, brother?
Hello there. You nailed it for the first time, I think.
I know,
you
right?
got your panel
out.
Name perfectly down.
Took a while.
A week to go, too.
You know,
so
right
good.
at the end. It's always good
you got
to...
exactly a week. That's plenty of time.
It's always good to do it right before it's over.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. We had a week till Kenobi, a week till your panel. Kenobi doesn't feel like a week.
I know,
I'm still like, in a month I'll get to see Kenobi.
I know.
But like,
it's wild.
Here.
It's
here.
It's a week away.
Yeah.
It's a week away.
I saw a joke like that on it. I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't you, but I'm not saying you saw it, but
No,
I
I
saw
definitely didn't.
some joke that showed a picture of a week way, which is Hondo. Hondo's
That's hilarious.
species, and they're like, Kenobi is a week way. I'm like, clever.
It's not bad.
No,
I'll take it.
yeah.
And to his immediate right, the Red Rapture himself, Tom Okry. Oh wait, he's pulling a Kyle, and he's not here.
He's got a legit reason, though.
Does he?
I think so.
Does he?
Maybe.
The week before Obi-Wan Kenobi, because of his anniversary. Nah, we're obviously just kidding.
How could he plan his wedding to come a week before Kenobi,
Happy anniversary
but
to
also
you
like
two
5
nerds.
years before Kenobi?
They're at a beach in Clearwater somewhere doing something.
Living it up, man.
Yeah, Clearwater's beautiful. If you've never been, I highly recommend Clearwater. There's a lot to talk about on this show today, more than I thought. When I was doing these show notes earlier, I was like, holy crap, there's a lot to get into. But before we do that, your birthday present finally came.
Yeah, I mean, I've done this to you before, so I don't care at all. Neither of us care.
I ordered it in April. No, I'm sorry, it was March. I ordered it in March.
Yeah.
And it showed up 2 days ago.
Well, that's
Monday or
kind of like
something.
what happened with the shoes, except like I can understand that because it's Austin hand painting them painstakingly. This was something that shipped.
Just like so overwhelmed with people buying these, which I
Could
would
be.
To be that, I don't know. You'll see.
Yeah.
So you're going to open on the show. I think you're going to dig it. Go for it.
That's kind of what we do. We've opened many things on the show.
We have.
That's what we do. We've opened our mind's eye, our third eye.
Splinter of the mind's eye.
Yeah. Oh. We both have third eyes on our forehead. We're parts of the Illuminati. Packing peanuts. Hey.
Yay.
My favorite.
I do love. I love a good
Jackson
packing
would love
peanut.
these, so I gotta be careful.
I love a good packing peanut.
Can't let him get these. Cats will chew these things to death. They like. That
Jack eats them.
Yeah,
I found
it's just an
one
animal
dropped on the
thing.
floor the other day because I was wanting to check and make sure it wasn't broken and stuff before I gave it to you.
Yeah.
And one fell on the floor and he like grabbed it and ran off and I was like, "Can you not eat these toxic plastic peanuts, please?"
All right. You got this. Whoa! No way. Those are insane. I can see it. The bubble wrap is still on them, but I can see what they are. Those are insane. Whoa. Oh, they're all different too.
Yep.
That's crazy.
There's one of each.
So okay, if
take
they
them all out and look at the base.
If they all had this, I would have been amazed. But I'm much more amazed. So you guys can't see it, but these are Oga's coasters, but not coasters from Oga's. Not the ones that I have 500 of and you have 500
Yeah.
of. These are like 3D printed, possibly.
Yep.
I don't know. But
yeah,
they
3D
have,
printed.
So the base of the stand, it comes with a stand even, is the Oga's logo. That's funny that you gave me after not that anybody cared, the Instagram post I made this week.
I didn't even see it.
The visual language of Batuu, how like it has all these logos for
Oh,
every
that's
business.
a good point.
But like there's not a sign that's like toy shop. It has a toy area and toy maker, but it doesn't say like toy shop here. Like
I never really considered that, but yeah, you're right.
All the places on Batuu are visual signs. They don't have text underneath them.
That's true.
So then there's
there's one of each of the designs.
Yeah, so they took the coaster designs from Oga's and put them on hard, like I don't know if you can hear that, but like hard coasters, and they have like foam backing or cardboard backing too.
I was happy with them.
They're legit. Did you get yourself some too?
No.
Oh, what?
I will.
You gotta have these.
I was just waiting to see how they came, and because if I bought 2 and they sucked, I would have been bummed.
Bought 2.
If I'd have bought 2 and they sucked.
Yeah. Oh man, those are crazy. You got to get these for yourself.
Happy birthday, brother.
Dude, that is awesome. Thank you.
You are very, very welcome.
I'm going to use one right now.
Do it
on the show. I'm using an actual Oga's coaster now. But I'll switch to this. So that is awesome.
I asked her if they had a Halcyon one. She doesn't have a Halcyon
Not yet.
design
One
yet.
day.
I know. I was like, please, do you have a Chandrila Starline one? And she's like, no. I'm like, damn it.
It's not like widely out there yet. Like people know it, but like
it took a while for Batu to catch on like that.
Yeah,
that'll take a while.
Yeah,
I think those cosplayers will be like a catalyst for all that.
Oh yeah.
All right, are we ready to dive into the show?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, first up, I don't know if you saw this. I didn't see it until earlier today when I was doing the show notes, so I think it's fairly interesting. There's a new book coming out called Star Wars Shadows of the Sith. And there was an excerpt that released, and the big reveal from the excerpt was that it reveals Rey's parents' names.
Oh, dang. I did not see that.
Did you see that?
That's funny because there was just perfect timing there. That thunder.
Palpatine's back somehow.
So there's the Secrets of the Sith book that I bought probably like 4 or 5 months ago now. And now this one is called Shadow of the Sith?
Shadows of the Sith, yeah.
Okay, Shadows of the Sith and Secrets. So the Secrets of the Sith didn't have anything like that in it. It had a couple cool things, I think, about Exegol. I can't remember. I breezed through it once. It's mainly like a picture book with a few captions. But it's not like an art of book. It's different. It's more, I think it's mostly in universe too. It's kind of strange.
That's cool.
But
I like in universe.
Shadows of the Sith. So do you know the names? Did it say?
Yeah. Do you want to know the names?
Why not?
What do you think they are?
Are they more on the Shivi side or more on the Lukey side?
More on the Shivi side.
Shivi, so they're weird names.
Yeah.
I could never guess. So what do you got?
They are Dathan. Dothan, Dathan.
Okay.
And Miramir.
I'm assuming
Miramir.
The mom is
Miramar.
Miramar.
Miramir. Fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I think
I don't get weirded out when people name stuff like remember when Grogu came out and they're like, that name sucks.
It's like
it's a name.
I like it actually.
I like Grogu a lot.
Yeah.
It's very distinct. It's not like you don't confuse it with another name.
Yeah. I think the Miramar sounds more like a good last name than a first name.
I thought his name was Dathan Miramar.
Oh, is that his full name?
No, that's their two
Dathan
names.
is the dad. And
you'd have to read the excerpt. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who doesn't want to read it. But I don't usually read excerpts. But I was skimming it to see, and they say the 3 people on board are it's a story about something vague, and it says their 3 names. So it's Dathan, Miramar, and Rey. So it's clearly the 3 of them.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I don't get people getting upset about naming
Dathan
stuff.
Palpatine.
Dathan Palpatine.
Miramar Palpatine. Yeah, okay.
That works.
Yeah, it's fine.
My joke was Dathan Skywalker.
Everyone's a Skywalker.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was intentional, but Dathan Dathomir. Moraband Miramar. Yeah. I don't know if it's a Sith connection or if it's just coincidence.
I just want to know. I'm ready to know more about her parents. I'm excited for this book. I want to know what kind of people they were.
Yeah.
If they were very similar to Palpatine, or if they were running away from his tyrannical stuff.
Well, I mean, the mom was just a normal.
Can you hear the rain in the
I
headphones?
can for sure in the headphones. Let me see.
I'm gonna shut that off. I'm gonna shut the door. It is storming outside, you guys.
I don't think I can hear it in the headphones. But I think the mom was just a normal citizen of Star Wars. I don't think she was force sensitive or I think she was just some random lady, right? Because the dad's the clone.
Yeah.
So he would have to be I am not a part of this. I'm not about this crazy evil old guy.
I wonder if he's a rich kid. That would be an interesting dynamic.
I don't know. Then how's he end up on Jakku? How's he end up with whoever Moraband? Yeah, Miramar. Whoever
Miramax
she is.
Pictures?
How does he end up with her? I feel like he was the one that had to make the choice. Because they say in episode 9, whether it's a lie or fact or they're just saying it, but they're he chose to be no one. So he chose not to be a Palpatine.
Yeah. I don't think it's a lie. I don't know. increasing issues with The Rise of Skywalker, but I still love that movie.
Same.
But
it's now, I mean, it's got some of my favorite scenes, but as a whole, it's my third favorite sequel. But it's got some of the best scenes.
Yeah, it really does. It just, I don't think a lot of things people say are retcons. I don't think are retcons, but I feel like this one kind of is.
Maybe, but like,
because your parents were no one. He's clearly not no one if he's Palpatine's son.
Right. But like we've said,
from a certain point of view, what I told you was true.
In a way, yeah. But like, it could also be Kylo just lying, trying to make her feel like dirt.
Yeah, like make her feel like crap, so she moves.
Yeah, so he's like, I can make you someone. You're no one now. So
I actually would
here.
like that better if they would address that.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
If not,
too.
I don't care. It doesn't make me hate Kylo. I love Kylo.
There's other crap in there.
Episode 9 isn't about retcons for me. It's about the Sith dagger doesn't make sense. And I know the reasoning for Palpatine, but the movie and people who only watch the movies are like, yeah, somehow I guess he returned. So those are the two issues. It's not the retcons, because I don't think they're retcons. Like,
I don't either. I don't think
the whole Luke thing and catching the lightsaber, that's not a retcon.
That's definitely not a retcon.
Raising the X-Wings, not a retcon. None of that's a retcon.
Because if you just put that scene at the end of Last Jedi, no one would have complained.
No. Because it's just his arc in
totally
mainly The Last Jedi, but it wraps it up 100% in Rise of Skywalker. So, yeah.
Speaking of The Last Jedi.
Still canon, too. What time is it? Should we do a check for Tom's sake?
For Tom's sake, it is 7:47. It is raining outside, really, like it's like we're on Camino.
Yeah.
It's brutal outside right now.
And
The Last Jedi is still canon.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Look at
that. Speaking of Last Jedi being canon, Rian Johnson's trilogy is still a go. Let's go!
I get a big goofy smile every time I see that. I'm scrolling through Instagram and it just like every 5 minutes. I'm like, hey, he's coming back, Ryan.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And anyone who doesn't like Rian Johnson, A, you're stupid and you get your brain fixed. B, even if you don't like The Last Jedi, you can't deny that it's a beautiful looking film. Yeah. It is a gorgeous. It's shot very well. It's directed very well. The acting is the best of all three of the Star Wars movies.
It's 100%. Paced pretty well, too.
Its pace is perfect. I mean, he's a fantastic director. And I think that I think they're going to Bryce Dallas Howard him in some people's eyes, where she had a horrible first outing. Yeah. To some people.
Even though Ryan didn't have a horrible first outing. Yeah.
But for some people, and then they're going to... I think it's smart for them to move away from the Star Wars... or the Skywalker saga. Yeah. I think it's very smart. I think there's other stories in Star Wars that are just as compelling. The Mandalorian shows that. Yep. They brought Luke into the fold.
It, but he wasn't in it for the first 7 chapters.
Yeah, he wasn't the focus of it.
People loved it before that Luke episode, so like, hey, we all loved it.
So that was just icing on the cake for that. But, I mean, I know I'm excited. Are you excited about this?
Oh, yeah. Definitely excited for that. I don't even care what time period it is, what characters it is. Like, yeah, give me more of him in Star Wars.
I really want them to set this in the original trilogy so people can be like,
great, he ruined the sequels, now he's ruining the original child.
Yeah.
Original
Which it was already ruined by Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah. It's ruined again, ruined twice.
It ruined my childhood twice because George Lucas ruined it, but now I love him and forgot all about that.
Have you been seeing all the memes that came from the second Kenobi trailer, where it's Uncle Owen when he's like roasting Kenobi, when Obi-Wan's like, he needs to be trained, and Uncle Owen's like you trained his father? There's so many memes now that are like, Disney should have planned the sequel trilogy, and then it's Uncle Owen going like George Lucas planned the original trilogy. Like, you're not wrong, Uncle Owen.
I love that. That's a great
idea.
Meme. That's a great meme.
Yeah. It's that idea there. Like, it wasn't planned then. It wasn't planned now. It's just how it goes.
It's really stupid that it wasn't planned.
Yeah, because now they should have and had the chance to do it. Like, George didn't really know he was going to make 3.
They're the only ones in control. Like, it's
Disney,
not
that's what I'm saying. Disney should have done it.
I don't understand why they didn't. I get that they were kind of going like, we want these filmmakers to leave their mark, but I think you have to have a start and an end point.
But then they stopped filmmakers from leaving the mark when it comes to Solo.
Yeah.
And Rogue One to an extent.
I think that was going to be a disaster. I really do.
I do too. I like the Solo
Lord
we
Miller,
got.
And they're doing Spider-Verse, and they did the first Spider-Verse, and they're doing part 2 and 3 or whatever
people
the hell
love.
it is.
So hey,
1 and 2 of this new movie.
Didn't they do Lego something?
Yeah, they did.
People love Lego.
Yeah, they did the Lego movie, and I think they did 21 Jump Street.
One of them, I think. Yeah, maybe. There's like 2 or 3, right?
There's 2.
Haven't seen them.
Those movies are, dude, they are so funny.
I would probably love them. I mean, they got Johnny Depp in them, so hey.
Dude, those are some of the best comedies of the last 10 years.
Yeah, I think I would.
They're fantastic. But I think that was going to be a really bad disaster. I really do. And I think even if you don't like The Last Jedi, which I just truly don't understand why. But if you don't like The Last Jedi, I think you got to give him a chance to redeem himself in your eyes.
Yeah.
I think because he is a very talented director. It's not somebody who's coming in off the street who doesn't know what they're doing. He's a very talented director. And I think it's fair to give him a shot. In your eyes.
I think so too.
It's
And
fantastic.
I think he understands Star Wars more than a lot of people think.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
I also
so.
think people don't know what like directors really do.
Yeah.
I don't think I do either, as much as I should. But most people are just like, the movie's good, director's good. Movie's bad, director's bad. Like
That's usually the case, though.
yeah,
I mean,
but like they do
they're
more
in-
than that. Like it's not just like
No, they definitely do more. Like they're in charge of. Well, see, in this case, he wrote and directed it.
right. So that's
So
different. But when you're
it's-
only a director, you do more than what people think, though.
It depends. So, like,
Yeah.
if you're a writer director, you have a vision and you try to complete that vision from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like I always point to this, but go watch The Director and the Jedi.
I love that one.
You seen it before?
Only once. I need to watch it again.
I watched it a few weeks ago while
Yeah.
like I was working. I just had it in the background. You see how much that guy went through. I mean, they did like a 90-day shoot, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And
And he went so many locations too. I mean, they went to
Yeah.
that freaking island. I don't know.
They were bouncing
I always
around a
forget
lot
that
and
island that Octo is. Like that's
it's-
insane. The amount of work they did just to shoot on that island.
the only other job that's harder than that is like the person who's like the showrunner of that, having to like manage all those moving parts, make sure the production team is on.
Yeah.
I totally get why someone would love directing a movie, but it is not anything I would ever want to do.
No. It's way too much pressure.
It's not even that. It's just all the work that goes into it. Just for people to hate you at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like a
Like-
year of your, sometimes a year and a half of your life.
Oh no! Try 3 or 4 years.
Well, I was
With
talking
this
just
one.
the shooting
This-
alone
Well,
was
remember
like a year and a half.
when they were filming it, it was in 2016, and The Force Awakens.
It was in 2015 when it came out.
2015 when
Yeah.
Force Awakens came out. So it was
Yeah.
before The Force Awakens had even come out. They were filming it.
Yeah. And it didn't get released till 2017.
Yeah,
So yeah, shooting was even more than a year and a half.
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's
There's
nuts.
pre-production that was before, and then filming, and then post-production. Yeah, that was at least a 3-year.
And
4-year
post-production on a
period.
Star Wars movies, God, and it's all like little shit. We're
Yeah.
like, I don't know, should the blaster fire come from that angle, or it's just like,
Right.
just pick. a
Should the
fucking
blaster
thing.
bolt be 6 inches or 8 inches long?
I would just be like, you decide. You're the artist. What looks
Exactly,
best?
exactly.
Tell me what looks best. What looks
Yeah.
best to you?
You're
okay?
making it real. Whatever you decide
Whatever
is
you
real
think
is
the
real.
best. Just tell me what it is.
That's another thing that kills me when it's like, they're like, this example, I don't have an example, but this thing here isn't lore accurate. And I'm like, did it just happen in that movie? Okay, it's lore accurate.
It's lore accurate.
Like, it just happened.
Yeah. My one thing I don't like is that he changed Kylo's scar.
Yeah, that's a little weird to me. But
I don't know why you
I don't
needed to do
care,
that.
but yeah, it is weird.
It is odd. Like, just don't. I mean, we saw it.
Yeah. We saw where it was.
We saw where it was, and you changed it just because I wonder if it was just like a prosthetics thing where they're like, there's like a muscle here or something where they're like, that's gonna be hard to like go around every time, and
Adam
I
does
don't know.
have a lot of muscles, so
I
it
don't
is
know.
hard to work around those things.
his scar in The Last Jedi looks dope, though. I do know that.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the next story here. We'll say that one for last. Did you see the new droid that was released in the picture on Obi-Wan?
Yeah. When
I first saw the thumbnail of it, I thought it was like the top of an R2 unit.
Yeah. But it's got this like menacing look to it.
Is it a good? Do we know what? I didn't watch.
I don't know.
I don't want to see anything else because I'm.
Me
seeing
neither.
it.
I just saw a picture of it and said good
Yeah.
enough. Like that's all I've
I
done.
saw there was like another teaser or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't need to see.
Yeah,
anything
there's going to
else.
be 2 TV spots between now and then. So
Yeah,
like,
I'm not watching anything.
Because I mean, it's
I'm gonna go to media blackout. I'm not gonna see anything because I'll be at
Right.
Celebration. So
yeah.
have a great
Um,
distraction.
Because Disney owns ABC, obviously, and ABC is doing basketball right now. So during those basketball
oh God, I bet
games,
it's just
they'll
constant.
probably leak out a bunch of TV spots. So,
That's gonna be constant. They did that
Yeah.
with all the movies and stuff. So they're definitely
Yeah.
did it with Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Dude,
But it's a dope looking droid. That's all I saw. So
I feel like the fandom is like united again. Like
Yeah.
we went through our lumps with the sequel trilogy dividing
for
people.
some reason,
I will never understand it.
yeah,
Give it 10 years. I mean,
Yeah.
people are excited about the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones.
yeah. That's what
That
kills me.
baffles my mind.
20th.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Did I say 25th?
I think you said 20th. I just took a
Oh.
second to be like, yeah, it is 20.
Yeah, it's 20. It's 20 for Attack of the Clones this year, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. But people are like excited about it, and I'm just like, how are you excited about this?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I mean, most everyone agrees. It's hard when you grow up with them. But I grew up with them. But like being objective, those are not good movies. The prequels are not good movies.
I mean, even as
There's
a
good
kid,
stuff in them.
yeah.
But I remember not liking Attack of the Clones as a What year did that come out? 2002?
2002.
So I
was
was
9.
born in 89. So
Yeah.
I was like
You're 12.
12?
Yeah.
13?
12 or 13, yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 because I was born in February. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being like, that movie sucked.
It was even as a kid, it was the one I watched the least. Like whenever, like we were spoiled. We had DVD players. It started out as like those little portable ones you take in the car, but eventually like my mom got a car that had them built in like the seats, and we would always take some Star Wars film with us. And it was usually like Revenge of the Sith, or I mean honestly at that time it's like Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith, just back and forth. And
Yeah.
we just never took Attack of the Clones. Like even then it was like, yeah, we'll watch it maybe once a year, once every 2 years, but like it wasn't that often. But even on like a 30-minute car ride, I'm like, I'm going to watch 30 minutes of Revenge of the Sith. Like, because as a kid, I was like, yeah, it's not that great.
I'm going to
Attack of
watch
the
it
Clones.
this weekend before I go to Celebration just to refresh my memory.
Because that's the main, not the main focus,
it's gonna
but
be
that's
a
a part
big focus,
of,
especially with it tying into Kenobi now. Like it's
Yeah.
going to be a thing. I get it, and I don't. Like I said the other day, I would push my second favorite movie of all time, push it in front of a train to watch Attack of the Clones once. That's how much I love Star Wars.
Right.
I still love Star Wars.
Yeah, same.
We're comparing apples to oranges here a little bit because it's like I love Star Wars so much. I would still rather watch Attack of the Clones than most of my other favorite movies. It's just
yeah, it's same. Well, Star
because
Wars
I
is
love Star
both,
Wars so much.
I'm pretty sure it's both of our favorite franchises. It's my number one
My
franchise.
number one, but it's
Yeah.
not even a close second for me.
Yeah.
I think Marvel might be my close second, but I'm not. I mean, do you see a
No.
single Marvel thing in
No,
there?
for me, Pirates is my second favorite.
I'm gonna
But-
get back into Pirates, man. I am.
If
I
this
gotta give
sixth
it
one
another
happens,
chance.
I'm not paying money to watch it. I'll watch it on Disney Plus when it's free,
I get it.
but I'm not paying money to watch no Johnny Depp. Like that's messed up. So it could end up being a good movie, but
Here's
I'm
the
not
thing,
paying money
dude.
for it.
Even if you don't, if I'm Bob Chapek, and you truly believe he was domestically abusive to Amber Heard, which there's no evidence of.
No,
But
the
if
opposite.
you truly believe it, and you're going like with your gut,
Yeah.
if he's found innocent in court, you immediately call him as he's leaving the courthouse, and you go, "How much money is it going to take to get you back for Pirates?" I know
I
what he
believe
said.
Johnny will not come back. No
I know
matter
what he
what.
said,
I believe
but
it.
you at least have to try.
Right.
Because
Even
then
if they
you can
do
be
try.
Disney going, "We tried to get Johnny Depp back." He said, "No, we understand that we."
But then you're that.
Just admit defeat.
Then you're that jerk
Or,
that
not
like.
defeat. Admit fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Big
And
time.
then people
admit
would
fault.
at least be like, they tried.
But Johnny's a
And-
man of his word, and
Hey, I would
don't still respect the heck out of him
Oh,
for that.
dude, I don't blame him at all.
No, I'm happy he said that as
We
much
have
as I
very
love
similar
Pirates.
issues with Disney.
Yeah, but mainly in
levels,
that,
of
in
course,
that
but-
instance. But like, yeah. So I mean, that's my second favorite franchise. But yeah, Star Wars, like you said, like whatever movie is second or third to you, like you'd rather watch most of the time a Star Wars movie.
Indiana Jones is up there for me too. I really like Indiana Jones. I don't
I'm
talk about it enough.
cautiously optimistically excited for this next one.
I'm not.
Yeah, I mean the fourth one was horrible.
There's part of it where it's just like, it's gone. Just enjoy the 3.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
there's
giving this
4,
one a
but Jesus
chance.
Christ, it's
No,
terrible.
there's only 3. Come on.
That movie's so bad. I wish they would erase it from canon.
That's the biggest thing that I'm curious to see is how they treat the fourth one. I hope they act like it never happened. Don't do anything that contradicts it, because then you get the whole what's real, what's not, what's canon.
there was
but
a
just act
trend
like
in-
it didn't happen.
There was a trend a few years. Whoa, that was intense thunder.
That shook this
there
room.
was
Oh
that
my
shook
gosh.
everything.
Yeah.
There was a trend a few years ago with movies where they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna select it." What is happening? That's right above us, dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna select like the Halloween franchise. Like, yeah, none of the only ones that happened was 1 and 2,
Yeah.
or like 1 and 3. I wouldn't be upset if they did it with Star Wars, right? I mean, other
We
than
got
the
Legends.
movies.
Legends that's not
Can you
canon
just make
anymore.
that movie Legends? I mean, it's not a. I haven't seen it since it came out. I've only seen it
once
time.
too.
I've only
That's
seen
it.
I need to go back and rewatch it.
I agree.
But I remember
I do
leaving
too.
and being like,
What the
fuck
yep.
was that?
Yep, I did too.
It
we
was
all
bad.
did. We all did.
And I was
Yep.
like in my early 20s, if even 20. What year did that come out? Like
I
2000.
think I was in high school,
7?
so I want to say like 8 or 9, 7, somewhere in
I
there. 'cause
graduated
I was in high
7,
school.
so it's like
Yeah.
I was fresh out of high, and I just remember being like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Me too. I was.
Monkeys with pompadours, yo?
It's
It was bad.
I think it's a bad sign when it's in the first like 20 minutes. They lost me when he survived that nuke in the fridge.
Oh, that is one of the
That's when they
dumbest-
lost me. I'm like, nope.
Every bone in your body would have broke
Yeah.
from like that thing falling down the side of the
Just
cliff.
Smacking
you know
you
what's
back
funny?
and forth. I'm like,
The fact that we've only seen it once, we remember that is pretty telling of the imagery.
Yeah, no,
So
it's very distinctive imagery.
I wonder if you could go
And
back
seeing a
in
nuke town like that is cool,
It's
especially
very
because
cool.
like the video game Call of Duty had like a nuke town map you could
Yeah,
play.
uh-huh.
So they probably did that on purpose. But like people love this Call of Duty game. Let's do a nuke town because it ties in with the time period, the 50s.
I wonder
But-
what was I gonna say? It's gone.
And it was in that big Shia LaBeouf craze because he was in one decent Transformers movie. Well, and he was in Holes too, and Even Stevens, which
I liked
Even
Holes a lot.
Stevens and Holes were really good.
Holes is
But
good.
then
Holes is like one of the most underrated
It's-
adaptations.
it's the best book adaptation
It's
ever.
really good.
Because
It's
I've read
really
Holes like 5 times.
I have
and
too.
that
That
movie
was such a big movie
that
when we were
movie is
kids.
perfect to the book.
Yeah,
And it
it's
even
very
adds
accurate.
stuff that makes it better.
Yep.
It's a great movie book adaptation.
It's a great one. But back to the droid. What did you think about? I don't know how we got to.
I don't
Lucasfilm
either.
from the droid.
But the last thing you were saying though, with like movies saying this one's canon, this one's not, like that's my biggest problem with like everything going on right now and everything but Star Wars. I love Star Wars because it's like this is the linear timeline. Legends don't exist; they don't count. But everything over here counts. There's a definite this counts, this doesn't.
Yeah.
This whole crap now going around like, oh, that's not this version of that character. That doesn't count. This one counts. They all count. They don't count. Hate it. That's why I love Star Wars.
Would you be okay with them
No.
keep? I talked bad about that movie, but like I don't think I'd hate if that was canon still. Indiana
No,
Jones.
that's what I'm saying. I
You kind of
want,
just have to move on.
yeah, I don't want that to be a thing with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But there's a way to just like write this movie where it doesn't reference Shia LaBeouf's character Mutt. Like you don't need to bring that stuff in. Like just he's off doing something else. He's now 30, 40, whatever years old, doing something else.
Is he in the movie? Have they said?
Not that I've seen.
I mean, he's not canceled or anything, is he?
No, Shia LaBeouf hasn't been canceled.
They
But-
tried to.
His character sucked, so his character should be canceled. But just act like it exists, but it doesn't affect this movie's plot. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
But back to the droid, though. Yeah, it's a cool looking droid. I haven't seen anything more. I don't know who voices it. They did announce, but I didn't pay attention to it.
Have you seen this rumor about Kumail Nanjiani's character? Oh, by the way, with the droid, and then we'll talk about this. I like the droid too. I think it's a cool look.
Yeah,
It almost looked like Mickey ears for a
I
second.
thought
the
that
first
too
time
at
saw it.
first. I was
But
like,
then when you see it, it's like flat. It just-
yeah.
the
At
image
first,
is a
I was
weird
like, oh,
image.
is this another one of those figures they're doing that's a Mickey droid? But then I was like, oh no, it's not.
And then it's it's flat. It's almost like a it looks like a mouse droid, like an
Kinda.
actual mouse droid.
Yeah,
Like if a droid mouse was a thing.
maybe the mouse droid is like the head of this new astromech or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Are
like
they-
the design a lot. I think
I
the
do too.
colors are cool. Did you see if it was a good? I don't
No,
want
I
to
haven't
see
seen it.
anything.
I don't know
Okay.
if they're going the K2SO route where it's like a reprogrammed Imperial droid that's now good, or vice versa. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't.
I would
either.
love it if it was just an Imperial like droid helping out the Inquisitors. We
It
don't
doesn't-
have
It doesn't
enough.
look imperial to me though. Like
I don't
looks-
think it
the-
does either.
The color
but
scheme is too
yeah.
like bright.
yeah,
That's why I was wondering if you had seen that it was like a good droid
But
or a bad droid.
we don't have enough Imperial or First Order droids though. Like we have BB-9E kinda, but
Yeah.
he was around for 30 seconds. I mean, that's really it though. Who else do we have?
K2SO,
But
the
he's
K2
not- he's
droids.
not Imperial.
Yeah, but the K2 droid is
Right.
is-
But those aren't like
Um,
characters. They're in the background.
yeah, you're right.
Like we don't
There's
have
not
any Imperial
main ones.
evil droids.
The probe droid, it's not a character.
No. Like I wish we
You're
had like an R2 equivalent for the dark side, but we don't.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, are there any dark side
Like always,
droids?
the dark side gets nothing. We don't get a good ending on the Halcyon. We don't get a we don't get a droid. We don't
you had
get
the ending you
Jack.
deserved.
Hey now.
One of my favorite things on that is I was watching the footage again the other day, and they went to the brig, and the stormtroopers were in there.
My
And the
boys.
guy was like, "You are right where you belong."
Was that before Croy got there?
I think it was after he was like trying to help the family.
Yeah.
And you got to. It's really funny.
I've
You
watched
should
that
watch it.
clip of you guys probably at least 10
My
times
boys.
now. My boys. Not only are you supporting, but you're tearing this
You
family
are
apart.
tearing this family apart.
Oh,
I talked to Sammy today.
nice.
Good dude.
Yeah?
Good dude.
I can see that.
We are gonna.
He's a traitor, but that's okay.
We're gonna get him on the show.
Ooh.
I'm hoping. He said he's
Yeah.
always down to talk Star Wars.
Oh, awesome.
So I asked him if he was gonna be at Celebration because that would have been awesome to bring him up on stage.
Dude, yeah.
But he's not. He said he's
Man,
gonna be in space.
He might be working, yeah.
He's
might
in
be
space,
he might
so-
be being a mechanic that day.
All right, second to last story here. This is a big one in amount of things, but there's not a ton to talk about. I just want to get your thoughts. The Star Wars Celebration merch dropped for all the exclusive stuff at Star Wars Celebration. I feel like it was really late.
Yeah,
I feel like we've had other past celebrations that kind of you knew a little bit before ahead of time.
Yeah.
But Anything that stood out to you that you're like interested in?
Like I told you the other night at the Poly, I'm not looking at it. I'm staying away. The only things I've seen are what we looked at that night. So I haven't.
There was
gone
even
back.
more that came out.
Yeah,
after that.
I'm not looking because I just don't. I can't afford it. I just can't.
Honestly, there's not a ton that I'm excited about, but there's cool stuff. But there's not stuff that I'm like I need. There's only like
Right.
3 things I really want. I think I want the Dexter Jettster staff shirt.
That's cool.
It's just cool.
You showed me that. That one is
Yeah,
really cool.
the
All the
neon
meme
sign.
shirts are cool too. There's so many meme shirts.
I want the Ahsoka shirt and the Obi-Wan logo shirt.
Those are
and
great.
the Celebration shirt. I'm only going to get a few things. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go wild.
That Dexter Jettster neon sign is awesome.
I would
Was
love
there
to
a
have it
price
here.
on it yet?
Nah, not that I saw.
When you find out, just divide it by 3 and we'll
Okay.
figure something out. Because
I'd
I'm
like
sure
to.
we all want it. So
It's
just
really
Have
cool.
it right here would be awesome.
It'd be very cool. The Black Chrysanthemum plush was cute. The
Yeah.
Frog Lady plush was
It's
cute.
so strange to me now that like, if you know Chrysanthemum's backstory, like it's weird that there's no
He's
plush of it.
He's a plush, yeah.
Yeah, like he's like a rabid Wookiee. They
Yeah, he's
banished him from
nuts.
Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Like he's too crazy for Wookiees.
Yeah.
So think
he's
about
too,
that.
He's too crazy for a war-fearing species, like a war species.
Yeah, for a warrior species.
Warrior
Like
species
they
is
kicked him
nuts.
out. We might talk about him in our top 10.
Oh, what's our
So-
top 10?
Our top 10 coming up this week is top 10 bounty hunters.
Ooh. Also this week, I just want to let you guys know, I might be uploading stuff throughout the week. If I'm not, check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheBradAdventures, because I don't know how the Wi-Fi situation is going to work.
Yeah.
So
Probably
I might just
horrible
be
in
uploading
the
YouTube
convention center.
overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not usually good.
Because there's like 50 million people in a
Yeah.
small space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But excuse me. But yeah, there's some cool stuff out there. I highly urge anyone who wants to see it, go look at some stuff. But I showed you the Grievous shirt and the mall like
Yeah.
paint splotch.
I love that Grievous shirt.
Grievous is
Hey,
dope.
Grievous is one of my favorites, so you know
Grievous is
that.
dope. The Beskar
The
coasters.
coasters, yeah. That's the one
Those are
thing I'm
cool.
like, I was like, if it's under like 30, I can make it happen.
I'm betting it's like 35.
It
It also depends on how big they are and
We'll
what they're
see.
made.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they're made out of
Beskar.
something nice. Yeah.
They made a Beskar.
I mean, it better
Yeah.
be.
They Beskar be.
They Beskar be. All right, the last story is the big story, and I think this is gonna take some time, and there's gonna be stuff to dissect in this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna read the article from Star Wars Newsnet because there's a lot to this, and you kind of need everything to provide context for what it is.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go from there, and here we go. Vanity Fair got the chance to sit down with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy for their June cover story, in which they focus on the future of Star Wars television. After releasing some snippets from interviews with quotes from Kennedy on both the television and film side of the franchise, the full piece has now been released on the magazine's website. Star Wars had television projects in the works for many years, be it animation with the Clone Wars or Rebels, or George Lucas's scrapped Star Wars Underworld live-action series he was developing for ABC. Lucas doubled their investment in TV when Bob Iger started circulating the idea of creating Disney Plus in 2017. When this was happening, Iger asked Kathleen Kennedy to come up with new live-action Star Wars series that would air with the service. Wow, so it's 2017 they were planning Disney Plus.
Honestly, that seems closer than I thought.
Right? I would have thought
I feel like
would've-
that was like 2012 or something like.
That's too early. I mean, like Netflix has been around for a minute, but like I think
Yeah.
like 2014, 2015 is when like the streaming was like
Yeah.
hitting its stride and like coming into
Yeah.
its
So
own.
that's when I would have guessed they would have started that idea.
It's back to the article. Sorry. When that happened, Kennedy gave a call to John Favreau to see if he'd be interested in developing a new project for them. I'm sorry, I'm having to like scroll. So if you hear me like reading these sentences oddly, I apologize. As Kennedy recalls, she didn't even give Favreau any specifics. Just wanted to test the waters and see if he'd like to join the Star Wars family. As we now know, and as Kathleen Kennedy told Vanity Fair, Favreau signed up immediately. And then Kennedy exercised her producing abilities and paired him with Dave Filoni, who she knew had ambitions to go from the animation world to the live action. She said, quote, "It wasn't an assignment by any means. I went to talk to him because Bob Iger was beginning to have these conversations about creating streaming. I said, hey, let me try to do my best Kathleen Kennedy voice. Hey, I don't know if you would have an interest in coming and working with us. Sorry, and I'm done. He said, not only would I have an interest, I have an idea. So he had been thinking about this unbeknownst to me.
Now this is Filoni that says he has an idea?
Favreau.
Favreau, okay.
Consequently, once John wanted to get involved in Star Wars, I had known for a long time that Dave Filoni, who created the Clone Wars series with Lucas, Had always been interested in making a transition from animation to live action. I have known this for almost the moment I came into the company and really encouraged him. I tried to create opportunities for him to come over to London to be on the set of feature films, to talk to our directors to get a sense of what the transition might look and feel like. So I said to Favreau, you need to sit down with Dave, not because I thought Dave was going to immediately jump in and start directing, but because I knew that Dave would be a huge, huge added bonus to John's vision. And I agree with that. I think that was a smart move.
Oh, yeah.
According to the executive, when they found a director or a storyteller that they like, they let them go nuts, as long as they stick to a certain framework defined by the fundamental Star Wars values. But what made it special about Favreau, unlike what she found on the film side, is that he's willing to make a long-term commitment. That makes sense. You got to have somebody who's willing to spearhead and be behind a project for a long, long time.
Which they both have had history of. Filoni was around for all 6, at that time, seasons of the Clone Wars, and Favreau had been doing the Marvel Universe since 2008.
Well,
so.
JJ didn't even want to do 2 movies.
Right.
I mean, when he signed on for The Force Awakens, that was it. And they were like, why don't you do Last Jedi? And he's like, nah.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, we'll do episode 9. And he's like, nah. And they're like, what if we bring a dump truck of money to your house tonight? And he's like, okay.
Right.
Then
you can keep the dump truck, too. How about that?
We bought the dump truck, too.
Yeah.
This is a quote from her again. The biggest challenge is getting all these minds together and arriving at a structural point of view, which I can imagine is very hard, especially in a place like Hollywood. Jesus Christ. We really drive our storytelling through the lens of filmmakers. We depend on people like Favreau and Dave and J.J. Abrams and the filmmakers we've worked with like Tony Gilroy on the upcoming Andor series. So Tony Gilroy's going to be helping out with Andor?
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, they've been pushing that recently.
He secretly directed. I know that they keep saying Gareth Edwards, but
yeah, that's what I was hinting at earlier when it was like they cut the people from Solo and kind of Rogue One. It's like,
they definitely did.
It was Gareth, but like it wasn't.
It
Gareth.
wasn't.
Like,
I mean, I think some of the visual stuff was, but storytelling was. I don't think.
But
it was.
he played ball with them and kept on their good side.
Yeah,
like he got a cameo in it. Like he gets the credit, and he's still. If they wanted him to come back and do a movie, they would ask him, and he would do it.
Which I think would be good. I think it would be good.
Yeah.
Like maybe direct a live action episode or something.
That'd be cool.
Whoa.
The storm is bad
that was
out there.
Scary.
Yeah.
All right, back to the quote. Quote, we put the basic guardrails around what makes something Star Wars. Those fundamental values inherent in Star Wars, that sense of place, that deeper meaning around selfishness, and the mythology that George created, that we pretty much leave them to their own devices and try to support that. So there's a little bit of luck that comes into this too. With Jon Favreau and the TV side, we've gotten fortunate that he's made a long-term commitment, which that's good to know that it's not like just a 2 or 3. He's in it for
Favreau's there for.
I don't need
time.
6 seasons of Mandalorian, but I like his idea, and I think he's proven himself
and
to be a good
you
writer.
can keep Favreau in other stuff.
He got Boba Fett too, so I completely forgot that
like
he did all
Favreau
the
can
Boba
do
Fett
more
stuff.
than just Mando.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same with Filoni. Filoni can do more than just Clone Wars, just Mando. They can do everything.
She said, "This is interesting. I haven't read any of this yet. I would love to find somebody on the feature side that would make that kind of long-term commitment.
Ooh.
There's a couple people I'm pretty close to that we may get there, but it's such a competitive landscape right now that availability, exclusivity, those kinds of ideas make it tough."
Yeah.
I think Ryan Johnson is
He's definitely
a good person to get on board.
He could commit to at least 3. Like
he's got that big Netflix deal too. That's the
Yeah.
delay with this is they're doing the Netflix stuff.
Yeah. I mean, getting the Russo brothers to do as much as they did in Marvel was big. I'm not saying get them to do Star Wars, but I'm saying like that was big to get them to do that much in Marvel.
Yeah.
But they had done the same thing in TV. They'd done Community before in TV, so they stuck around for a whole TV series. So
yeah. I
mean, I wouldn't want them in Star Wars, as great as they were with the first 23 whatever movies of Marvel.
Yeah, I like them, but I don't think they're right for Star Wars. I think they're right for they were perfect for Marvel at that time.
Yep.
She goes on to say Grogu was part of it from the beginning. There was always some evolution in the character, and what it looked like took a bit of time. I can imagine that was a long process.
Oh yeah.
But the character was something that he had identified right from the beginning. There was a lot of discussion around whether that was something we should or shouldn't do. It gave us some pause, but the thing I love about John is he's very definitive. He also gives a lot of thought to what he wants to do. He's always respectful of Star Wars and what it means and not just doing things flippantly. So he and Dave debated that quite ferociously. Both came to the conclusion that why not? Everybody knows that Yoda is not just a singular being. He is of a species. that could develop into something interesting. So there's going to be a future for Grogu. That's what I
As
get
there
out of
should
that.
be. Yeah.
That's what I get out of that.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, I truly think, like, we're definitely in our lifetime going to see episode 10, 11, 12.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no doubt. I know they were like end of the Skywalker saga. It might
Could be
not
true.
be focused on Skywalkers, but we're
Right.
going to get episode 10, 11, 12.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
That would be a very interesting direction for them to take, would be Grogu. I think that would be
It would be.
very interesting if he's like the
Hopefully
future
they
of
can
Star
get
Wars.
like Daisy and like John Boyega to come back, and we can get more of Finn following the Force too. That'd be sick.
I don't think Daisy Ridley's
But-
doing too much, so I think she should
Right.
be.
Same with Boyega's not doing a lot, so he's doing more than Daisy. But
Yeah.
yeah.
He was like a more established actor than she was.
right,
But that's like the benefit. I think if you're going to sign on to a Star Wars movie, you got to be somebody like Adam Driver, where you're not a household name yet,
right,
but you're a working, talented actor.
Yep.
Because if not, you get typecasted.
yeah, and
Because
he's
if you can look at other things, like he was in a comedy before that. You know, what I mean?
Yeah.
He was in Girls.
yeah, he's been in like
Tons of stuff.
50 movies in the past like 5 years.
Yeah, he's
done
still
so
working.
much crap.
So and then he's just but Ray is Daisy Ridley. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I hate to typecast people, but
I've only seen Daisy Ridley as Ray.
I've seen her.
I've seen
in
Adam
that-
do 50 other things. But
She was in the.
she was in that
Murder on the
murder
Orient
train.
Express, which is actually a pretty good movie, but she's
I haven't
not
seen
in
it.
a lot.
Ah,
It's fine.
spoiler alert! It was her. No, I don't know.
I don't remember who it was.
I don't know. I think my mom and dad saw it. They
It was
said
a-
it was good.
It was a good movie. I liked
yeah,
it.
they liked it.
I went because of her, to be honest.
It had a lot of big names in it.
Yeah.
It was like 6
Wasn't
names.
John Boyega in that too?
Might have been.
Did I
I
make
don't
that
know.
up? Oh, and
I'd
Oscar
believe it,
Isaac's the
but-
same kind of thing. He was an actor way before this.
Yeah,
And he's still doing stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like doing a ton of stuff.
he's good. He's
have,
really
you,
good.
have you seen Ex Machina yet?
No.
Holy cow, dude. It's him and Hux. Those,
Oh, whoa.
they're the two main characters of the movie. And that's all I'm going to say.
Donald Gleason. Nice. It took me a second. I'm like,
Yeah,
Hux,
Donald
Hux, Hux.
Gleason.
Donald Gleason. It
You
took me.
got to watch that movie.
Okay.
You got to watch it.
Is that the one with the
freak you
robot
out.
chick?
Do you know much about it?
That's all I know. Robot chick.
Don't look up another thing. Just go watch that movie. It's
Okay, I'll find it.
wild.
Okay. I've heard good things, so yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Nice.
I love it. He plays like a...
Better than Attack of the Clones? Would you watch Attack of the
Is it
Clones
better
before?
than Attack
Would
of the
you push
Clones?
it before a train to save Attack of the Clones?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad we tied that back into that one throwaway line that wasn't funny to begin with.
Back to the article. Kennedy then added that what sold her on the idea of having the character in the show is that it was a bold idea, which is something she's always embraced. Which I think even if you don't like The Last Jedi, they made some bold choices in that movie.
Yeah.
So
And
you
that's-
can't give her. She's not being safe. I think the Rise of Skywalker was her going like, "Oh shit,
We got to be safe.
safe."
Yep. I love bigger risks over safe any day of the week.
Me too, man. Me
Mhm.
too. Take a risk.
Yep.
If you fail, at least you tried something.
Yep.
Whoops, hang on. I'll back up out of here. a
Do
little bit.
50 crazy, wild, out of nowhere things, and if 5 of them stick, cool.
You got 5 cool things.
Exactly.
I internalized a lot of the debate they were having. I think what struck me was it was a bold idea. I'm always attracted to that. You could look back and maybe think that was an expected idea, but it wasn't. Initially, he was just trying to create a character. The Mandalorian is taking care of the child. That's the basic concept. It was the child. What the child looked like is what evolved over time. The bold idea that maybe it's of the species that Yoda is immediately gives you a context and a potential backstory. Interesting. That's exciting in Star Wars because all these things need to be connected. That's what I recognized right away when he was talking about it. Then we saw it. I mean, come on. Yeah, he's a cute kid. There's been some speculation for a while that Favreau initially wanted to make a Boba Fett show, but Kennedy didn't, and they came to an agreement with Din Djarin. Kennedy immediately shut down those rumors when asked if Dave's Favreau was a Boba Fett show. No, he was certainly intrigued by Boba Fett. He knew that we were working on a Boba Fett in the feature space for a while. They finally confirmed
That they were going to do a solo and then a
that it
Boba.
was going to be a Boba Fett movie.
That would have been better than the show.
That is the first time that they have officially said that it was going to be
Yeah.
a Boba Fett movie.
Yeah, aside from all these rumors.
Fuck.
Man. I would have loved to see that one scene that was always rumored. We
Yeah.
talked about it before, where it's Solo's perspective and Solo's movie. And
The
then
Josh Trank movies.
Boba-
That was a
yeah.
real thing.
Boba's movie was going to have Boba's perspective of that same scene. That would have been so cool. How have they never done that? Not just them, Star Wars, but how has no other movie ever done anything like that ever?
I don't know.
That's such a cool thing.
I think it's tough to
The
establish.
closest we've got is Back to the Future, kind of.
Kinda.
Where they go back in the second movie. Have you seen the third one yet?
Nope.
Oh man,
Still waiting to see. I haven't seen the second one yet.
you haven't seen the second one? Okay, I'll shut up.
I'm still waiting.
We need to
see,
watch them.
I'm still waiting to see it with my friend Chris. It just hasn't worked.
I've got
out
them
yet.
on DVD. Are they on Netflix or I don't know
I
where
don't know.
they're
I
at.
have them on DVD too. He bought them for
Okay,
me. Somebody
okay.
bought them for me. No, a listener bought them for me
Oh, nice.
because I
They
brought
got
it
good
up
taste.
a
They
long
got
time
good
ago,
taste.
and they sent me the DVDs. They're like, I'm
Mhm.
sending you Back to the Future.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love them.
All right, I'm not gonna say no to your DVD.
That's honestly that might be my like third or fourth favorite franchise, I guess. Even though hopefully they never go back to it. It needs to be
they
done
will.
at 3. Oh no, please
They
no.
definitely will.
I hope not.
It's getting hot in here again.
Yeah.
Why don't you read so it's the
You
gray
stop
paragraph?
with the Boba Fett thing.
Yeah, and it's right where it's you'll see it. You'll see where we are. It's getting hot. Summer in Florida, baby.
All right. Yeah, right there. You are certainly true. Kennedy was then asked about one of the downsides that the Star Wars franchise is coming across right now. Since they are trying to tell one unified story, they aren't really allowed to course correct that much in their storytelling. This is something that other franchises like Batman or James Bond are allowed to do when things no longer work. Of course, when answering this, she ignored the fact that Star Wars canon has been making small retcons for many years. I guess that's true.
It's fair.
Yeah, like small ones.
Small ones.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Especially when it comes to comics versus TV shows and movies. Yeah.
Dude, I guarantee you she has no idea what's in those comics.
She's maybe
She's
seen a couple. She's probably like
I
looked
don't
at a
think
couple.
she's dude, if I'm you got $100. Your last $100. You put it down. You think she's read a single Star Wars comic book of the new stuff? You think she's read a single one?
No.
That's not an adaptation of The Force Awakens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
There's no way she's
no
read a single
original
one.
story adaptations
No
or
chance.
anything, yeah.
Ask her who Dr. Aphra is.
Ask her who Vi Marati is.
Yeah, she'll no clue.
Yeah. I would love to be proven wrong, though. Like, I hope I'm wrong. If we ever find out, she's like, yeah, Vi is my favorite character and this and this and that. Like,
it'd be so fun to be like, do you even know who this character is?
yeah, how do these people that interview the famous people not ask stuff like that? Like,
Because you
are
would
they
get,
not allowed
you
to?
would
Maybe
get
Like,
blacklisted. You'd never get invited.
well,
to
you don't
a
have to
media
print
junket
it
again.
Like, you could just be like, "Do you know who it is?" And then she says, "No, but that's off the record or something."
If I had
then,
one
okay, you
question
can't
for
print it.
Kathleen Kennedy, I would be like, are we ever going to see Batu in live action?
We've had chances. We've had a lot of chances in animation too. Like it should
Yeah.
have been, could have been in Resistance. It could have been in Bad Batch. Like it could have and should have been in Bad Batch for sure. But live action would be easier. Just go there and film it one day.
You have all the reference material. You can film it during the day and put it into the volume when it's empty.
Yep. I don't know. That's a good question for her, though. So she ignored the fact that Star Wars canon has been making small retcons for many years, and it's been especially flagrant in the last few years with the comics and books. Yeah. We published an editorial on the matter a few months ago. You can go check it out here. Okay, yeah, there's a link to it on the website. Kennedy said the following. We also can't go do something with Luke Skywalker that isn't Mark Hamill.
You've been doing it with Boba Fett.
But you can. They've done stuff with Luke that isn't really Mark Hamill. I mean, he's
I
involved.
think they just mean
but-
they don't want to recast Mark Hamill.
Yeah, but you did it with Han. Like, it's fine.
They said, I saw in the article later that they're not going to recast any legacy characters.
Man.
Because the Han thing didn't work.
But it did. I mean, money-wise it didn't, but we all love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So...
You just didn't make a great movie.
Right?
It wasn't that it was different.
It was
Han
a good
Solo.
movie, but the movie
It's not
wasn't great.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I like it better than Rogue One, but it's...
Yeah. So she can't do anything with Luke Skywalker that isn't Mark Hamill. We're not going to suddenly go to try to do that. The beauty of Obi-Wan Kenobi is Ewan McGregor desperately wanted to do this. He has been so engaged in the entire process, and our excitement and reason for doing this is that the real Obi-Wan wanted to tell his story. But I mean, Ewan McGregor is great, but that's a recast when you look at it. I mean, you can't get
a
Alec
recast,
Guinness.
but I think she means going forward, she doesn't want to be responsible for any of that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's what
I
she
see that,
means. She's like,
yeah.
I'm not going to be the one that recasts
and
Mark
pisses
Hamill.
off this faction of fans, and this faction doesn't care. Like, yeah, I get it. But so we got excited by the idea.
Also,
that
hang on.
Ewan-
I think Luke Skywalker works in the way now that Vader works.
Yeah.
Where the less is more.
Yep.
And I think she knows that. I think
Yeah.
she realizes that less is more with Luke.
But if you want to do more is more, just do comics or something where you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about
It's
being
fine.
Mark. That's fine. Or a book even. A book. Was it Mark that voiced him in Battlefront?
It's a good
I think
question.
the
it
craziest you
was.
can go is video game and have it not be Mark.
Well, that book's coming out with him and Lando.
Yeah, that's going to talk about what he did with like Ochi and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got excited by the idea that Ewan McGregor wanted to come back and Hayden Christensen wanted to come back.
I'm excited too.
Okay, yeah, so I'm flipping to the next thing. Just as fans, everybody inside the company was like, let's see if we can make this work. Deborah Chow's, oh, yep, I'm glad they're talking about her because she is awesome. Deborah Chow's done a beautiful job with it. Again, it's a singular vision. She's directed all 6 episodes. That's cool.
Oh, shit.
That's cool.
That's new.
Good. Yeah, I didn't know
She directed
that.
all 6?
Yeah. That got me even more excited.
Wow.
Yeah. It has a consistent feel and style to it.
Dude, that's badass.
Man, okay. How many? This is long. We're still going.
It's hard to read, right?
Right. So, here we go. Kennedy's answer is especially interesting, as she gives the example of Obi-Wan Kenobi, a show that already nullifies her point twice. The series cast a new actor to play Luke Skywalker. Technically, that doesn't count. He's playing like a 5-year-old kid.
It's a body... Wait, who? Oh, yeah, come on.
That
That's
doesn't
not the
count.
same thing.
The
We're going
same-
to like make Mark Hamill like a
A
miniature
5-year-old?
version of himself? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Technically, the baby Luke wasn't Mark Hamill either in Revenge of the Sith. So, like,
That's-
what?
That is such a nitpick thing.
Oh, come on.
Whoever wrote this better not be Alex that wrote this
I
article.
doubt it is. There's no way. Okay, so the series cast a new actor to play Luke named Grant Feely, and stars Ewan McGregor as the character that Alec Guinness first made iconic with the original trilogy. I already said that, but like I agree.
But Ben Kenobi's not Ben Kenobi. Jesus Christ. Ewan McGregor is just as much Obi-Wan as
Yeah.
Alec Guinness.
Yeah, and
he is.
you can't take a
It's always
recreation
James
of
Arnold
Alec
Taylor
Guinness.
for that matter.
Yeah, he's done more hours of anybody as
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, but what are you gonna do? You gotta do the Peter Cushing Rogue One for?
You definitely can do that. In
No,
99.
people would hate that.
Well, you
but
couldn't
like-
have done it. It just wasn't
No,
possible.
but even today, people would still hate it. I
No.
like the Rogue One Peter Cushing stuff,
I did
but
too.
it wasn't perfect. But like,
No.
I get it. But you
little
couldn't do
little early for them to try that. It was,
right.
It was
I
like
like
on the
it though.
cusp.
Take
Yeah,
a risk.
It doesn't bother me.
push
Yeah,
the
take a risk,
technology.
yeah.
That's what Star Wars is about.
Absolutely.
Pushing technology, taking
agree.
risks. But you couldn't do a whole series of this animated abomination.
No.
like you couldn't do that.
The budget wouldn't be there.
No, the budget, but also just wouldn't look good. After
No.
45 minutes, you'd be like, that doesn't look real. That
Yeah.
looks bad. That looks like the She-Hulk trailer. That's what that looks like.
That looked rough.
Did you
Oof.
finally watch it? That
Yeah.
looks so bad.
Dude, what is
Yeah.
was that thing at the end? Was that a joke?
I think it was an attempt at a joke.
That wasn't even remotely funny.
No.
I don't understand it.
Like what?
Like,
I
I was
forget
like-
it. What was it again? Do you remember? I forget what it was.
She like picks him up. He's like, she can pick me up or something like that, and she carries him.
I forget. It was like
It was really
like,
brutal.
that's what they think comedy
Dude, the
is.
Hulk movie from 2002 had better CGI.
Ugh, that one's horrible. That's one that wasn't.
looks
That
rough.
was canon, but then it wasn't canon.
But
But
here's the
now
thing,
it is
the
canon.
story
but,
doesn't
like,
look
who
bad to me.
knows?
The story doesn't look bad.
I didn't even pay attention to the story because I was like, "This looks like Fiona from Shrek."
It does look
What
like
is
Fiona
happening?
From Shrek. From
Yeah.
Shrek. From
Shresh.
Shrek. Why the fuck can't I say
Besh.
Shrek? Besh.
Besh. Besh. Ugh.
All right, back to the article.
Oh my gosh.
You got a lot of work to do.
Oh my gosh. According to the executive, what convinced her that recasting original trilogy actors is not the way to go was 2018 Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Boom.
She said, "I think back, and Solo was one of the first ideas that came up with. The first ideas that came up when the company was sold. One of the first people I went to was screenwriter Larry Kasdan. Larry and I have known each other forever. He was excited to tell that story. He genuinely believed at the time it was a good idea. So yeah, there should be moments along the way when you learn things. That may have certainly been a learning moment. Some people have talked about how, well, maybe Solo should have been a TV show. Okay, so how? Well, maybe Solo should have been a TV show. But even doing so, Solo as a TV show without Harrison Ford as Han Solo, it's the same thinking. Maybe I should have recognized this before. We should never make Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford. I mean, except they did in that TV show. So how does that work? Having just finished the 5th movie, I can tell you there wasn't a day I wasn't on set where I wasn't like, yes, this is Indiana Jones.
That's good news.
Right, yeah.
But she's not gonna. She said that about Solo.
Yeah.
And now she's backtracking, so you
But-
can't trust a producer.
But we all thought it was Solo. Like
I have no problems with
yeah,
that movie.
like we said, the problem is the movie was just okay.
Yeah.
The actor and
To
the
me, the-
acting and the character was great.
To me, the problem with that movie was the Beckett twist. It was so not a twist.
Right.
It would have been more
I
interesting.
like
It would
it
have been more
'cause-
interesting to me if Kira had turned him in.
That would have been cool. And I can see that still fitting her character. Like
Yeah.
the Beckett thing fits his character, but it's not a twist.
But it's also not. It's the most cliche. Don't trust anyone.
Which
I
happens in
told you
Indiana
not to
Jones
trust
3.
Anyone.
It happens in The Last Crusade, so
Yeah,
it's
but
kind of
that's
like
not that was like before it was like a thing.
right.
It's a thing now. Like you
Yeah.
know that story trope is like a trope. And
Yeah.
it doesn't work
The
nowadays.
like the fatherly figure that's like, be careful, man, don't
Yeah.
trust anybody, and then turns out, oh, the fatherly figure is an evil guy. Okay.
Yep. He
But
told you not to trust
it
anyone.
fits
even
Beckett's
himself.
character, but it also would fit Kira's character.
It
It
would-
would have been cooler,
It'd been cool.
and it would have made it even better for Han to be like more
And it-
jaded towards women.
and it
'cause
would have
his
been
first love
correct.
did this to him.
That would. So I didn't even think about that. But it also would have been great because they all could have gone to work for Jabba, and you could have killed him off when he was working for Jabba.
Oh, Beckett.
Yeah,
And get more Woody Harrelson
Get
as
more Woody
Beckett.
Harrelson as Beckett.
Dang,
And then,
yes.
But then that's why he's so scared of Jabba is because he's like, dude, that dude's ruthless. He
He killed my father,
friend.
basically. Yeah.
You see that they showed Han's dad in the comics.
Yeah.
I don't
Which-
hate it.
I don't hate it because he talked about his father in Solo,
Yeah,
working on Corellian freighters. So I mean, yeah, it's fine. Like,
I like it.
he obviously has parents. He's
Yeah.
not Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
where he doesn't have a dad.
I never thought that when she said that there was no father. I just thought it meant like the dad wasn't involved.
Oh no, I've always taken it literally.
I have,
But I'm more literal. I'm a very literal person, so like I've taken that literally from day one.
Jesus, and then he's evil Jesus.
Yeah, he's good at the end.
Antichrist.
He's good at the end though. He's
Sure.
forgiven for murdering kids.
Yeah, he killed a bunch of kids and
Yeah.
everything's fine now.
Space Jesus, space heaven,
Space
space
Hitler
heaven.
turned Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot of imagery. Not
That's what
good
it is.
imagery, but
that's what it is.
it's what it is. Okay, so she says, maybe I'm closer to the DNA of Indy, and always have been, than I was when I came into Star Wars, because now it does seem so abundantly clear that we can't do that. You get excited by these things, and you want to revisit things you want. You want to have that feeling again, and you're trying to resurrect that. I think that's what we do even with our new characters. With Star Wars, everybody talks about a feeling they have about Star Wars. That's that intangible idea that you're always looking for.
So, but what about the Lando thing that they're doing? I bet you that doesn't come out.
I know. I hope it does.
I bet it doesn't.
That would have been so good.
I'm very curious what happens at Celebration with that panel.
What if they
Because-
just drop a trailer, or not a trailer, like a sizzle reel or something like?
That's what I'm hoping. But
That'll
like,
be
I haven't been
beautiful.
able to sign up for anything yet.
Ugh.
So
I'm hoping we'll have to talk about it maybe at the end of the top 10 or something when we have a more time in that episode to be like, what is some things you're looking forward to for Celebration? What are your predictions?
sure,
Because
I'd
I don't
love to
have
do
a whole
that.
lot. Because I'm not too in the Celebration. No, because I've never been.
you would
I
be in
don't like-
heaven.
Oh, I know I would, but I've never been. But I'll wait for Orlando.
I feel
Orlando's
like it's a
gonna be my
little
first one.
lackluster this year, if I'm being honest.
That's 30% why I didn't go this year. The other
Seems
70%
seems a
being
little
money.
lackluster.
but-
It seems a little
Yeah.
not as packed, but honestly, there's not a lot going on right now
No.
other than Obi-Wan.
Right. But it's already done, and it's going to
But
be
we
out.
could get an announcement of
Yeah.
something major. That's what's
Yeah.
cool. Is you never know. But I do have a bold prediction.
If I can go back in time, I would have picked whatever one. See, I don't even know it that much because I don't follow Celebration as close as I should. Whatever one had the most Galaxy's Edge stuff.
That was the one in Chicago.
Oh, and that's the one I should have
that
went
was
to.
the first one.
I drove through Chicago the weekend it was happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hate myself.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We, me and Alex were there, and it was the first time that they played the Galaxy's Edge suite.
Oh,
They played
dang.
that. I was thinking
That's
about
the
my
one I
favorite
shoulda went
moments today because I'm going to do after I get back, because hopefully I'll be able to add some of the moments from this celebration
Oh,
to
you
my
will.
top 10.
Just because you have your own panel, first
Yeah.
off. Like, that's going to be one.
It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah.
My
My top 10 fan moments have changed too now. I mean, I'm sure yours has just from the house scene alone.
Yeah.
But add Celebration on
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But we'll talk next episode because that'll be when celebration starts. So we can start that episode with some celebration stuff. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So staying on the feature film side, Vanity Fair brought up the topic of Rey and her ascendancy. J.J. Abrams
JJ.
JG J.J. Abrams arguably built a cloud of mystery around the character in The Force Awakens, and one of the long-running theories about her ancestors was that she was the granddaughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Kennedy confirmed that this was indeed an idea they discussed, but ultimately didn't go through with it. Spoiler alert. The bigger issue is talking about Obi-Wan as a master Jedi and the issue of attachment and selflessness. In order for Obi-Wan to have a child, you are really, really impacting the rules around the Jedi. What does that mean? If that were explored, and certainly there were a lot of ideas being thrown around, but anything to do with Obi-Wan in that regard was pretty much off the table because it flies in the face of everything George created in the mythology.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I
He was
don't-
in love with Duchess Satine.
But
No,
they didn't,
it doesn't.
But they didn't do anything.
But they almost did, so it doesn't fly in the face.
Almost, but
But
they didn't.
if Obi-Wan was a true Jedi the way George Lucas intended it to be, he wouldn't have even gone down that path. Like, Qui-Gon didn't do any of that, at least
I
not that we've
think-
known so far.
Oh, that'd be cool if there was something there like that.
But-
Maybe that's why the council doesn't trust him.
Maybe,
They're like,
but-
hey, remember that one
but
chick
to-
on Ryloth?
To say that it flies in the face of what George Lucas created, it was in this show that George Lucas created.
Yeah, but I think it shows how much of a Jedi he is to be like, all this attachment I have,
She died,
I have to turn
right?
down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're not together.
Well, they had chances before, though, to do something. They had
I get
10 years together to do
he
something.
was more going like, after the war, we'll figure it out.
In a way, yeah. The more I think about it.
It wasn't a no because I can't because I'm a Jedi.
Yeah.
It was a wrong time.
Yeah.
And he was always waiting for that right time, and then it was too late.
If she would have lived and the war would have turned differently, if Palpatine didn't win.
They would have ended up together 100%.
Yeah, because I think he would have seen what all the council was doing wrong, how they
Yeah.
treated Anakin, how they treated Ahsoka, and he would have been like, yeah, they treated even Qui-Gon wrong. He would have been like, I'm out. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so it
my
doesn't...
thing is, it's okay to be like, no, it's just something we wanted to do. To say it flies in the face of what George Lucas created is patently false.
Yeah. The more I think about it and the more you talk, yeah.
Patently false, because it
I
doesn't.
agree. I'm glad she isn't Kenobi's
Oh, me
granddaughter.
too. Don't get me wrong, but to say that that would fly in is
Yeah.
just insane to me.
Yeah. We're not rigid about it. It's certainly open for discussion all the time, but that's pretty significant tenet in the mythology of the Jedi that we'd be reluctant to mess with. But yeah, that's just more of what you're saying, what she's saying that we don't agree with. It's like, not really.
I had read that quote before, and I was like, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't drive me nuts, but it's just not correct.
My thing is, it's just the wording of flies in the face. It's like,
Right.
it doesn't.
No. Contradict is even too strong. If you
Yeah.
said it contradicts George Lucas, I'd be like, it doesn't.
Doesn't.
But you could just say,
Anakin
like,
did it. He
you
got
could say
fucking
it-
married.
yeah. But you could say, like, it just changes our perception of the
Yeah.
character of
That's
Obi-Wan
fine.
Kenobi,
It was
which
the
it
harsh
would.
wording that I was
Yeah,
just like, I'm not a fan
just
of.
change your wording. But that's
I
don't
agree with her,
care.
but like to
Right.
a point. But I think that it was. Yeah, I said what I had to say.
Right. She also said that there are a lot of internal discussions about moving on from the Skywalker saga at the moment. I think moving beyond the characters we know is vital. Just staying within the construct of George's storytelling to keep chipping away at that, I think would be wrong. It's our job to step away now, but still have a connection to the mythology George has created. That won't stop, but we are moving on from the Skywalker saga. That's what's taking a lot of time, discussion, and thought right now. And to help them decide what to do next, Kennedy said that trying something on the publishing side of Star Wars is a good way to test the waters for them. Yes.
Good.
High Republic.
Everyone likes High Republic that reads it.
Yeah. So Kennedy says, it is. That's something we put into motion about 5 years ago because we don't have the benefit of just pulling a book off the shelf, even though they kind of do. But
She means like she says this a lot, and she's right and wrong. Yes, there are books you can base things off of,
yeah.
but if you're trying to write an original story, you can't just rewrite a story. That's what
Right.
she's saying. You're not adapting something. You're trying to create something brand new.
Yeah.
Because you could easily rewrite Shadows of the Empire to make it fit.
Yeah.
But that's not what she wants to do. She wants to do
Splinter of the
something
Mind's
completely
Eye.
unique.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Splinter of the
Maybe
Mind's Eye.
not.
Just rewrite it, and it's
Yeah.
Rey and Poe going around.
Instead of Luke. That wouldn't work.
No.
No. Kennedy says, as we look at where Star Wars is going, we don't just assume it's only going to be on television and in movie theaters. That's another evolution we're having a lot of conversation around. Well, it's in theme parks too, so you could take that and make some stories about that.
Yeah, I would love more Batu stuff.
So the article goes on to say, and what could that be? Virtual reality is a possibility, Kennedy said, but they want to go even beyond that. I think it's beyond just VR. Think of some of the things Epic Games is doing with Fortnite. What? No. What? The ability to immerse people in stories, building avatars around your character that could actually participate in some way. I think
Just more video
Fortnite's a
games.
bad
She just-
example. I don't
Yeah,
think.
it's one of the worst examples she could have picked.
Yeah.
But I think she's just meaning they're going to go full in with video games, which is great.
Yeah. Well, except for Eclipse, hopefully. That is not really canceled, but
It ain't canceled, bro.
Yeah.
I got a feeling.
just 10 years from now. Kennedy goes on to say, we talk so much about the movie experience being something that is a community. You get to hear people interact. You get to hear them laugh. You get to hear them cheer. Well, in the future, you're going to have that opportunity to experience that feeling and that interaction virtually. That may not be ideal to a lot of people, but there's no question that's where it's going. So what does that mean for us as storytellers? Since we work so far ahead of what the audience interacts with, we have to be thinking about these things. It's right on the horizon. We're already having conversations around what we're going to experiment with regarding immersive technology. I know everybody kicks around the word metaverse, but in a funny way, George created Star Wars as a part of the metaverse a long time ago.
Oh, shut up.
That was definitely
That was so corny.
Walt wanted Epcot to be changing all the time, so we're changing
That was
Epcot.
a corny
That's what that
sentence.
was.
That was
George,
brutal.
Yeah, that was, that's the same thing.
That was brutes.
Yep. I don't know the definition of the word metaverse, but I hate it. So, there's that. I'll look it up one day.
The metaverse is just the thing Facebook's doing. It's basically the Matrix. Ready to be able to go
I
into
haven't seen the
virtual
Matrix,
reality and-
so I don't know what that is either.
You know the concept of the Matrix. It's like it's a fake
Something
world.
about a program, or
The world you
and-
think you
and-
see is just a program that you're in a computer simulation.
and there's a chosen
And
one.
then outside of that world is the real world where it's not good. And that's
Ooh.
why everyone's in the Matrix. Well, the Matrix is because they're harvesting energy from human beings. But
Gotcha. Well, if this is the Matrix and the real world is not good, I would hate to see the real world.
yeah.
Because this Matrix world is not good.
Yeah. I do think we are in a simulation.
I don't.
I do.
It's a horrible simulation.
A lot of people think it's a simulation. A lot of very
Man.
smart people. Elon thinks we live in a simulation.
Dang.
So.
Is that why he's going to space to get
Also,
out of it?
if I was worth $150 billion, I might think the world's not real too.
Because to him, it's not. In the immediate future, however, the company has a lot of projects in the works. For instance, they are less than 10 days away from the release of Obi-Wan Kenobi, with the first 2 episodes coming out on May 27th. This is what Kennedy could tease
Make
about the
sure
series.
you're subscribed to Disney Plus.
I'm sure it's going to say that. I think what Deborah's done really effectively is she's explored the interior life of Obi-Wan, because we find out Obi-Wan at a point where he thinks he's killed Anakin. He's at a pretty low point when we find him. He's questioning who he is. I think she does a really great job of having him find that humanity again. There's so much I can't tell you.
Oh, I can't wait, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's everyone assumes, so he doesn't know that he's Vader.
Yeah, he's going to find out. We're going to see that moment. Who's going to tell him?
Yes.
Ahsoka?
You think so?
Does Cal know? I don't think Cal knows, so it can't be Cal.
Cal wouldn't.
Cal doesn't know Anakin is Vader. Cal does know Anakin, and Cal does experience
Maybe
Vader.
the events of Jedi
Survivor could tie into it, where he finds out Anakin is Vader.
Survivor Jedi Edition.
Your tribe has spoken. Your council has
The
spoken.
council has spoken.
Please leave the temple. Dude, I watched Survivor so much when I was a kid.
I did not. I never.
My
got into
uncle, I didn't until my uncle, who moved, actually he moved from Florida to Indiana for tragic reasons, sadly, but he made a pretty big impact on me because he
it.
loved.
Crippling meth addiction.
You're not far off. to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
Yeah. And it wasn't meth, but you're not far off. But he loved Survivor, so like I think it was Thursday night. Like every Thursday night, we would watch Survivor together.
That's hilarious.
So that was a
yeah,
thing
no,
we did
I never
for-
watched a single second of Survivor.
I was so late to the game because he'd watched it his whole life, or as long as it was on TV. It was like season 10 or something when I started, but yeah, that was one of those things I watched with him.
It's
Not
funny.
a great show, but
I'm not a fan.
it was just something I connected with over.
I don't
with
get
him.
it.
No, I don't get it either. I just connected with him over it because
I feel you.
it was something he watched.
God damn, this is a long article.
Yeah, it is. It keeps going. The article goes on and on and on to say another highly anticipated project they are developing is The Acolyte. I agree. I'm excited for that. With Leslie Headland, as the leader. The show will not include many characters we're familiar with, as it will take...
Not include many or any?
The show will not include many characters
okay.
we're familiar with, as it will take 100... I think they left out the word place. As it will take place 100 years before the events of the original trilogy. Kennedy said this about the show. That one
so
sits...
50 years before Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
Okay.
right at the finale of the High Republic. It'd be cool if, like, whatever the last wave of High Republic books
I want to see some
is just
Nihil
like...
in live action.
Oh, I think we're gonna. I think this is gonna give us some connection with the Acolyte and the Nile and...
Marshawn Rose, like son, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be cool. So Kennedy says, that one sits right on the edge of the High Republic era. It's a bit of an experiment for us because it isn't building within the timeline and the era that John and Dave are. It isn't just necessarily going to be where features are. We are moving into a new era with what showrunner Leslie Headland is doing. It's throwing me off how they're saying features instead of movies. Just say you're trying to be like sophisticated.
Feature films,
Just say movie. Like don't be features. Like this film, this art house project. Just say movie. There are certainly reflections of things that people are going to recognize, and it will have connectivity in Star Wars. But this will be a whole new era of storytelling if we determine, like we did with The Mandalorian, that it works and that there's interest. I think there will be. Moving on to the feature film division, Kennedy has confirmed that they are indeed rethinking Rogue Squadron, and that Taika Waititi's film is probably up next.
Wait, rethinking?
Yeah, rethinking Rogue Squadron. I don't know what that means. Maybe we'll get to it. However, she alleges that they have a roadmap in place. That makes it sound so dirty. It's like she alleges they have a roadmap. Like, I gotta word it like that. Kennedy says, we have a roadmap. I would say that Taika's story fits more specifically into that. Rogue Squadron, ... We kind of pushed off to the side for the moment. Patty is developing the script further. Then we will talk about how that connects to the central spine that we're working on. There's a couple of filmmakers that we've been in conversation with over quite a long period of time that I'm hoping will come in and make the overall commitment that John and Dave have made.
So this sounds like to me that she's not letting people do individual movies anymore.
She is trying to lock people into deals. Because I think she got enough complaints of they didn't plan the sequels.
Yep.
So
And they want a
like,
singular
everything has to
vision
be
for
planned.
everything. Which is
Yeah.
not necessarily the right move.
Yeah.
The original trilogy wasn't directed
You don't
by
want to go overboard the
person?
other way.
Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't.
No.
George Lucas didn't direct all three. He directed A New
Marquand
Hope.
did one of them. And then
Mark, what's his name?
Marquand?
Yeah,
right?
what's his first name?
Richard?
It's Richard Marquand.
Yeah.
Did
Empire, right?
Empire, and
Yeah.
then
I can see his name right now in the credits for Jedi.
no,
I can see it.
other way around, right?
I can't.
Irvin
Kirshner. Kirshner did Empire.
Empire, and
Yep.
then Marquand did
There you go.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. I think you can go too far that
And
way,
then look at the
though.
prequels.
Like,
The only trilogy that the person did all three movies were the prequels.
and it's the worst trilogy.
It's the worst trilogy of all three.
I mean, it has the best, not the best story, but it might have the second best overall story. It's just not executed great. You could say that about the sequels, though. Like, that story of Rey's character
There's
is
not much
pretty
story
dope.
there.
Like, her story is pretty dope.
Her
though,
story's
like,
Luke's.
in a way, but she also, well, no, I was about to say, but different because she finds out she has evil in her background, but Luke
Yep.
does too.
Mhm.
Vader's pretty dang evil.
It's Luke.
Yeah. Dang, man, yeah, the more I think about it. Because
Luke,
he's like,
dude.
yeah, because he's like, no, I'm not going to be
Which
like
is why I think
Vader.
it's so dumb that people don't like it.
And then
It's
Rey's
you
like, I'm
Luke.
not going to be like Palpatine. It's the same thing. Dang.
Yeah, it's female Luke.
Yeah. Luquette.
Lukeette.
So she says, that's ideally what I would love to see happen in the feature space. Quit saying feature space. Jeez. She then added that the Star Wars movie Kevin Feige is supposedly producing is just a rumor. She says, that's the rumor mill. Kevin, I think everybody knows, is a huge Star Wars fan. He's clearly been inspired by Star Wars and the way in which he's handled Marvel. I know he's got a lot on his plate right now. I would love to see at some point what movie he might come up with, but right now, no. There isn't anything specifically on the horizon.
I know. I always was very odd that he would be doing both.
Yeah, I don't think he could.
I don't think he could
anybody
physically do it.
handle
Yeah, I
both.
don't think anybody could
Not
do-
just him. That would kill you.
It's a lot
Yeah.
to direct a movie while you're producing the entire MCU.
Yeah.
And you're the head of the MCU.
Yeah, there's no way. It's like what Kylo said. He's like, "You're not doing this. The effort would kill you."
Never would kill you.
The article goes on to say this is something very bizarre for her to say. The movie was announced by Alan Horn in 2019, back when he was Disney's chief creative officer and therefore Kathleen Kennedy's boss. And the major Hollywood trades reported in early 2021 that Michael Waldron of Loki and Doctor Strange 2 would be the main writer.
Well, she would know. She's the one greenlighting the
like,
productions. Maybe Alan Horn misspoke.
Could be. Come on.
Like, Alan Horn wasn't always known as being like the best person to interact with.
Right?
So, I would believe Kathleen Kennedy before I believe that guy.
Yeah.
They have to. She has to greenlight them.
I would believe
she
Kathleen
would know.
Kennedy before the Hollywood trades.
Yeah, right?
Like,
she wouldn't know the person. This is just anything to shit on Kathleen Kennedy is what this sounds like to me.
Not only that, but
God bless you if that's what you want to do. God bless you.
Yeah, I mean, you've got nothing better to do. Not only that, but Kevin Feige acknowledged it in November 2019 and then in January 2021, shortly after Waldron's involvement got out. In addition, Michael Waldron has also acknowledged the movie multiple times and most recently confirmed that he's now hard at work on it. The Vanity Fair writer did acknowledge this last interview in the story.
Maybe she just can't say anything about it.
Maybe.
But couldn't you just say no comment and not know? That's a rumor.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to make that a surprise at Celebration or something.
I mean, I don't know. At this point, like, Andrew Garfield said no. Liam Neeson says no. Come on.
I don't think Liam Neeson's going to be in Obi-Wan.
I think he is.
I really don't.
I don't buy it at all.
For him to be like, the only way I would come back is if it was a movie, that seems
I think
pretty...
that's
not Andrew Garfield being like, no, I'm not in the movie. That's
Yeah.
like, no, look, I'm not coming back, and even if I was, it would have to be a movie.
Maybe.
Because he did come back for Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. And the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, fuck, that's true.
yeah. So it doesn't have to be a movie.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It was only like a 30
Maybe that's
second-
his misdirect, and we're all...
Hey.
Oh, shit.
Plot twist. Bigger plot
Dude,
twist.
no one would
than-
be happier than me.
Right. I'd be a distant second, I think.
Whew.
But yeah, you'd be...
Qui-Gon's my guy.
You'd be right.
He's my
high.
guy. He's my guy.
You're Guai?
He's my guy, my guy.
All
They're not
right.
all funny, all right? I'm sorry. I'm tired of stressed out
They're
about
not all
this goddamn panel.
So the Vanity Fair writer did acknowledge this last interview in the story, adding that his talk with Kathleen Kennedy happened in March before Waldron made those comments. The timing of the interview is especially relevant as Kennedy added that 2 months later, that is May, that they would be given more specifics about the upcoming films. We'll probably get a little bit more specific in a couple months, Kathleen Kennedy said. She's obviously referring to the upcoming Star Wars celebration, which will kick off on the 26th in Anaheim. Did you know that?
I did, and that's the same day as my panel, Star Wars Celebration.
Nice. Well, there's another panel that day. The panel where they will address them will happen that day at 11 a.m.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that
So
and more.
I won't be able to go. 10:30 to 11:30.
Yeah. So you'll be missing some huge drop, or not?
Yep. And I'll have no one there because everyone's trying to get into that panel. Oh, I saw the seats. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. It's 534 seats
To your panel?
to my panel.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's a comedy club. I'm used to it. I'll be able to
Do they
do
let
okay.
people bring in tomatoes?
I hope not.
Is that a thing? Does that actually happen?
It did back in the old days.
What?
The olden days.
Ye
The old like
days.
800 BC. It sure
Oh.
did.
You're not that old. You weren't doing comedy back then.
All right. Interesting stuff there. What's your biggest takeaway? I have one. Out of all that was a lot to digest.
That was a ton to digest.
But that's why I said that was going to take a while.
The biggest takeaway is like what's going on with the Rogue Squadron movie.
That's my biggest
like,
takeaway.
I
Because
was
it
the
was
one that
off,
did
then
not
it's
care
on,
about
now
it.
it's off, now it's on again.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to lock her down to a contract, like you said. Like, I was the one that was like, I don't care about this movie. I'll see it. I hope it's good, but I just don't care.
It was the thing I was the most excited about.
Right.
when
I'm
that,
in the minority. I know I'm in the minority.
When that round of announcements came out, because
Yeah.
I loved the video game, and I know it's not necessarily based on the video game, but that's what my brain
But
goes.
it's going to inspire.
And it's going to be an
video
X-Wing
game.
movie. That's fucking
Yeah.
cool. Like a Squadron movie's
I
great.
got an X-Wing on my shirt, so I should be excited. But
Should be, but you
I didn't play
piece
the
of
video
shit.
game. I never played the video game.
You never did?
So no.
Oh, it's fun, dude. It holds up.
Yeah.
It's a good game
My
still.
family Amish. You know that. We didn't.
I
have,
did not know that.
We didn't have any video
That's
games.
why you like
That's
churning
why-
butter.
That's why I got the beard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I understand. It makes sense now. But we'll know more at Star Wars Celebration. So let's wrap this episode up because we have a top 10 to get to, and then we got to finish the panel,
Yes.
Um,
yes.
which is exciting.
Exciting.
This Wednesday, you can check out. The top 10 list is going to be top 10 bounty hunters. So that's going to be fun to talk about. But that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. I will see you guys at Star Wars Celebration. Oh, by the way, had a listener reach out to me. I don't know if I told you this. I think I told Tom. Listener reached out to me who's going to be, she's not going to Celebration, but she's going to be in Anaheim when I'm there and wants to meet up at Disneyland the same day I'm going to be there. We happen to be there. She got her nails painted the Jedi Talk logo.
What?
The color
so
of the
cool.
Jedi Talk logo.
What?
So that's pretty dope. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm excited to see them. So shout out to Nicole for doing that. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you guys on the next show. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you. There's going to be a ton of Celebration talk over the next week or so. You're going to see it from all angles. You're going to see it from your boy. He's doing the panel. Don't forget to come out if you're there. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.
Always.
Tabooey Tay.
Good journey.
Rise, Jedi Knight.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad,
That's
right?
your best one yet.